Hello, and welcome to the 11th Annual American Public Health Association Food Systems Tour. My name is Sarah Reinhardt, and I'm the outgoing co-chair of the Food Environment Working Group. The APHA Food Environment Working Group is a joint initiative of the APHA Food and Nutrition section and the Environment section, and we share an interest in cultivating and promoting a healthy, just, and sustainable food system. And while the food tour is what we're best known for, we are also working behind the scenes to encourage healthy and sustainable food options at the annual meeting, support APHA policies pertaining to food and the environment, and foster a dynamic network of interdisciplinary public health practitioners with an interest in food systems issues. This is my third and final year organizing the food tour, and it has been such a joy to do this work. But I'm so happy to be leaving it in the capable hands of my co-chair, Sarah Goldman, and our incoming co-chair, Bianca Cornelius. With that, I'm going to pass it off to Sarah and Bianca to kick off the tour.
Hey everyone, I'm Sarah Goldman, the co-chair of the Food and Environment Working Group. I'm really passionate about building equitable and sustainable food systems, and I look forward to working with many of you. For those of you who have been on previous food tours, thank you for joining us. For those of you who have never joined a food tour, welcome. While we wish we were together in person, we're so happy we can come together virtually to learn from and offer our support to organizations who are on the front lines fighting for food justice and healthy food access in their communities. Even though we're not in San Francisco, our virtual tour is honoring the location of the annual meeting by highlighting organizations in the San Francisco and Bay Area.
Hello, I'm Bianca Cornelius, incoming co-chair of the Food and Environment Working Group. We are so excited about the group of organizations we're about to visit. They are all using healthy foods to make positive changes in the community, and they've all been hit hard by COVID. Please consider making a donation to one or more organizations in this video to thank them for educating us about the work, and share it with your friends and colleagues who might do the same. There are donation links you'll be able to click on at the ends of each video, as well as social media accounts you can follow to keep in touch. Thanks again for being here. Enjoy the tour, and we hope to see you next year in Denver.
Our first stop on the food tour is Urban Tilth, an organization founded in 2005 with the goal of training local residents to cultivate agriculture in West Contra Costa County. Urban Tilth helps its local communities grow their own food, trains and employs its own young people as homegrown experts, teaches local residents about the relationships between food, health, poverty, and justice, and forges partnerships with local small farmers to increase demand for their produce.
Isabella Zizi. I come from the Northern Cheyenne, Arikara, and Muskogee Creek tribes. I've been working with Urban Tilth for about 4 months now, and I am one of the CSA coordinating managers. Urban Tilth as a whole, Urban Tilth was founded around 2005 and has really been doing community work, grassroots work locally. And it's really encouraging youth and people of color to learn these kinds of living ways of healthy eating and healthy living, and directly reaching out to the younger generation here in Richmond, San Pablo area, for them to not have to think that they have to depend on local corner stores or packaged foods, that they too are able to grow these healthy foods and also live that healthy lifestyle, and also let that grow in their family and in their different circles. Right now we are here at the North Richmond farm site, which is roughly 3 acres, and this is where we wash and pack for the CSA program, and we also have a really awesome chicken coop that was just built for us, as well as multiple rows of crops of the different produce that we grow here. The work that I do with CSA is we have a team of, I'd say roughly like 10 of our workers here at Urban Tilth, where we help provide fresh produce of vegetables and greens for our members who have signed up for a weekly box or bi-weekly box, whether it's produce that we grow ourselves or produce that we receive from other farms within a 50-mile radius. And along with that, we also provide foods for family who are low income or have been impacted by COVID-19 recently. And so overall, within a whole week, we provide at least up to 400 boxes of produce for families, whether they're single families, families are 2 or 3 or more. And for us to be able to provide such produce, organic produce to them in these kind of living situations, it's really beneficial. And it's also a pretty positive, it's a positive feeling that I receive myself, and also like my other coworkers too, that we're able to do great work through these hard times.
You can follow Urban Tilth on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and donate to Urban Tilth at urbantilth.org/donate. CERES Community Project believes that food truly is medicine. This organization supports primarily low-income people struggling because of a serious health condition with free and low-cost, home-delivered, nourishing organic meals, nutrition education, and the caring support of the community. All the meals CERES provides are prepared by youth ages 14 and up who volunteer in their 3/4-acre food production garden and 3 commercial kitchen sites in Marin and Sonoma counties.
Hi there. Thanks for dropping in to visit CERES Community Project. We're thrilled that you're here, albeit virtually. My name's Deborah Ramelli. I'm CERES Communications Director, and I'll be your tour guide today. And we're going to start off with a short video that will give you an overview of our work here at CERES.
Welcome to CERES Community Project, where teen volunteers work alongside adult mentors to grow organic produce, then transform it into delicious and nourishing meals for people in our community who are seriously ill.
Today we operate 3 kitchens and 2 organic gardens in the North Bay, and we've trained more than a dozen communities around the United States and Denmark to replicate our model.
It's teaching them skills, how to cook, how to handle food, how to grow the food, why we use organics, why we focus on organics. It also teaches them about social issues, about empathy and caring for others, and that you can make a difference through your efforts.
The way that I've learned to work together with other people here will stay with me the rest of my life. It's honestly a wonderful experience.
Every cabbage grown and every meal made gives our youth an opportunity to gain skills, confidence, and leadership. Friendships are formed among people of all ages, from all walks of life, and our clients tell us again and again that they can feel the love in the food.
We've learned a lot, and now we're building on that knowledge to support the policy level changes that are needed so that many more people will have access to the kind of services that we provide to our clients here at CERES.
It was a meal that was there for me that I didn't have to worry about. I didn't have to worry about what the ingredients were, or they're going to be good or bad for me, because they took care of all of them. They've totally changed the way that I eat and my diet. It only took one day of me eating, go like, hey, I think I can do this. I think I can use this food, and they provided it for me, and they provided it for me free, free of charge. And people who really can't afford food, or when they do get out of the hospital, it's the perfect thing for them.
Our meals are designed by nutritionists to meet the medical needs of our clients facing illnesses like cancer and congestive heart failure. We use organic ingredients, sourced from local farms as much as possible, as part of our commitment to care not just for individual health, but also for the health of our community and planet.
From delivering meals to our neighbors to talking with our legislators in Sacramento and Washington, D.C., we're working together to build a food and healthcare system that's just, sustainable, and accessible to everyone. We don't do any of this work alone. CERES Community Project has always been a reflection of the power that we have when we come together as a community around our shared values: compassion, respect, and generosity. Please join us.
During the pandemic, demand for our services has skyrocketed. And thanks to the generosity of our community, we've been able to meet that demand. So you'll see some images of what our pandemic response has looked like. And we went from serving about 1,500 meals a week before the pandemic to 5,400 meals by the middle of May. We assessed each of our clients for nutrition security and added extra meals or groceries for those who needed them. We changed our program eligibility to serve more clients living with chronic conditions. We launched a Caring Calls program, pairing adult and youth volunteers with clients for social phone calls to combat isolation. And volunteers have made thousands of beautiful greeting cards to place in clients' bags, along with small bouquets as well. And because we needed to be working with fewer people in our kitchens due to safety concerns, we pivoted from relying mostly on volunteers to prepare our meals to a paid staff model using professional chefs, so we'd accomplish so much more with less person hours. And this included hiring several of our teen chefs as kitchen assistants. Our experience during these past months has deepened our conviction that home-delivered medically tailored meals like ours are an important part of healthcare interventions for diet-sensitive health conditions. Thanks for visiting today, everyone. I'm thrilled that you could be here with me. Thank you for the invitation. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can reach me at Deborah, D-E-B-O-R-A-H, at ceresproject.org. I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll leave you with a few words from one of those kitchen assistants who I mentioned. Her name is Emma, and Emma is going to share her experience being part of CERES during the pandemic.
The teamwork that is at CERES is like a whole nother level, because there's so many things that are moving and we have to be so conscious about all of like the little details to make sure that our clients are getting the absolute best. And so everyone's constantly checking each other. Kale always reminds me to drink water, or like people are always like, oh, do you need me to do this for you? Hey, can you grab this for me? And the second someone needs a break, the next person's coming in to help them. And it's just like a really well-oiled machine. One of the like really cool parts about being able to work at CERES during this time is seeing all of the names, and it's growing every shift. All the people we get to help, and I'm just so lucky to get to have an opportunity to be able to help in a way that I love.
Bye. Thanks so much.
You can follow CERES Community Project on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and donate to CERES at ceresproject.org/donate. La Cocina was born in 2005 out of a belief that a community of talented natural entrepreneurs, given the right resources, can create self-sufficient businesses that benefit themselves, their families, their community, and the whole city. La Cocina supports businesses by providing an affordable commercial kitchen space, industry-specific technical assistance, and access to market opportunities, focusing primarily on providing resources to women from communities of color and immigrant communities. This organization has been nationally recognized for breaking barriers towards a more diverse and equitable food industry.
La Cocina was founded in 2005 out of a grassroots economic work that was happening in the Mission District in San Francisco in the late 80s, early 90s. And those grassroots organizers identified that a lot of people, mostly immigrant women and women of color, were cooking food out of their homes and creating business plans for food businesses and never launching. And when those women were asked why they weren't launching, their answer was a lack of affordable commercial kitchen space. La Cocina was the idea that you could provide affordable commercial kitchen space and industry-specific technical assistance And these very talented entrepreneurs who were experiencing barriers to entry in the marketplace could move from the informal economy to the formal economy, and from income patching to asset generation. We have supported nearly 60 entrepreneurs in reaching economic self-sufficiency before the pandemic. They've opened 33 brick and mortar locations throughout the Bay Area and have generated $16 million in annual revenue and created more than 250 jobs. They've also received all kinds of industry awards and media accolades for their talents and skills. This is just a few over the last year. The underlying assumption of the work at La Cocina is that if these entrepreneurs are given the opportunity to be leaders in our industry, they can affect the kind of change and build the kind of city we'd prefer to see. We can't remove the barriers to entry, but we can act as a metaphor for an unequal economy and a potential vision of what an equitable economy could look like. The restaurants we work with are an act of freedom for the entrepreneurs themselves. They're low-wage workers who've been hustling on the side to find a way that their families can feel free. And the restaurant is that path to economic freedom. By the end of March, 70% of La Cocina businesses lost 100% of their sales, and 90% had to lay off or furlough their entire staff. None of these businesses are elastic when it comes to capital, so they have no capacity to absorb a multi-month shutdown. It's a scary and complicated time for them without large-scale assistance or a clear path to opening it on a federal level. Without meaningful attention to the pandemic and the economic crisis that will follow, we'll see the people who have been running these industries in a vulnerable position for so long continue to bear the brunt of that impact. With COVID, our staff moved quickly to activate a three-phased strategy with our response efforts. First phase was to stem the bleeding. We anticipated a mandated closure early and began implementing measures across our organization. The first was to encourage all of our businesses to close their doors. We did the same with La Cocina, as well as lay off as much of their staff as they could, because unemployment benefits were going to be a better route for income for employees than payout from owners since they have no money. Still in that first phase, we supported our entrepreneurs in securing rent abatement and got them each pro bono lawyers as they renegotiate their leases. We also supported entrepreneurs in loan deferment, navigating the employee assistance program, and applying for grants. Our entrepreneurs have submitted over 500 applications to grant programs. We established an emergency relief fund and have raised nearly $800,000 that we had distributed directly as cash payments to entrepreneurs for them to do what they want, whether it was personal bills or allocate to employees or to business owners themselves who can't access federal assistance programs. We run a 4,400 square foot shared use commercial kitchen space, which you can imagine is a complicated space in a time of social distancing. Once we were able to open, our kitchen is the core production facility for all our active businesses. La Cocina has waived all kitchen fees since February 2020, reducing bills for dozens of businesses. We'll continue to do this at least through 2020. Our phase two, which we started a few months ago, is about looking for revenue streams for entrepreneurs. We started a community food box, which aggregates prepared foods from 9 to 10 entrepreneurs each week. 90% of the sales go to the businesses. We have a pickup model at La Cocina and now a delivery model where money goes back to entrepreneurs who are delivering the boxes. We've generated nearly $500,000 for 49 businesses from the food box. We ramped up promotion of our gift boxes, reaching out to companies specifically, which has generated nearly $50,000 for La Cocina packaged goods businesses. In phase two, we've worked to secure opportunities for our entrepreneurs to feed frontline workers, protesters, and vulnerable community members via various partnerships with Dish Housing, Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corporation, World Central Kitchen, and other private donors. Our phase three hopefully includes a greater capacity to take on government programs with meal service to vulnerable populations, using our still under construction La Cocina Municipal Marketplace as a commissary kitchen when we are able to operate next year. Our goal is to get entrepreneurs to 50% of pre-COVID sales. hoping that they can sustain themselves and their families for at least 18 months to 2 years in order to begin to think about what we're calling regeneration, which is not a reestablishment of the status quo, but access to things that give entrepreneurs a better set of opportunities when they open, such as child care and health care. Should you want to support our organization, there are 3 ways to do so, all of which can be accessible via lacocinasf.org.
You can follow La Cocina on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and donate to La Cocina at lacocinasf.org/relief fund. Planting Justice is an incredible organization working to address the structural inequities embedded in the industrialized food system and provide a path to economic justice and community healing. Its programs include food justice education, holistic reentry from prison, permaculture landscaping, and urban farms and training centers. Since 2009, Planting Justice has built over 450 edible permaculture gardens in the San Francisco Bay Area, worked with 5 high schools to develop food justice curricula, and created 40 green jobs in the food justice movement for folks transitioning from prison.
My name is Aaron Godinez. I work with TYY. It's the Transform Your Yard program. Yeah, so what we do is garden installations, and we also plant fruit trees, and we build garden beds, raised beds, in-ground beds, and help people connect to the earth more and get their own food in their own backyard.
Hi, my name is Sky, and I'm a grassroots fundraiser for Planting Justice. We try to teach folks about food justice and why there's systems in place that don't give the same amount of access of fresh and healthy food to everyone around. The Bay Area here in East Oakland, there's only one store to every 90,000 people. It's like there's 3 stores in the entire neighborhood. And this directly affects folks. You know, they're trying to supplement their food with liquor store treats, and it just doesn't cut it. It's a serious issue that politicians aren't meeting up with this, and so the community has to do something.
Food justice, because I believe food is important for healing. And I think for me, food is medicine, food is culture, food is a part of how we connect to family, how we connect to friends, how we connect to our community. Community-oriented, poppin', and healing.
Community-based, real time, and growing.
You can follow Planting Justice on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or you can donate or shop for seedlings and plants from Planting Justice's nursery at plantingjustice.org. The last stop on our tour is Food Shift, a social enterprise working to address the dual challenges of food waste and food insecurity in the Bay Area. Food Shift recovers and revitalizes surplus and imperfect foods and uses them to create delicious meals for its catering and food donation programs, while simultaneously imparting culinary skills and job training to its kitchen apprentices. Due to COVID, Food Shift has been forced to suspend the catering and job training programs you're about to see in this video. But in the meantime, Food Shift has started a COVID relief program called Operation Together, which is linking excess produce from wholesalers to frontline food assistance organizations during the pandemic. To learn more about Operation Together, you can visit foodshift.net or email info@foodshift.net.
After 3 years of piloting our vision in a small shared kitchen in Alameda, we are ready to spread our wings and grow. Hi, my name is Susie Medios. I'm the culinary educator and head chef here at the Food Shift Kitchen. We are in Alameda, California. What brought me here was seeing so much food being wasted and knowing that there was something that we could do to help be the link in order to get that food into communities. The work here at Food Shift is so important. There are two major things that we're seeing happening, especially here in the Bay Area. People are going hungry, and we're seeing the effects of climate change within our communities. We're helping address those issues of recovering food, bringing them to the communities that most need it, and doing a job training program.
When I got here, it really changed my whole life, and because I really went through a whole lot, and I didn't really know which direction I was going to, and I really do love to cook. Just coming through a hard struggle, didn't know which direction I was going into. And it kind of had an impact on my family too, because what I was going through at my time, and to see me get up and motivate myself, it really had an impact on them too.
Every day is something new. I cooked for 13 years and I learned some things that I never knew for 13 years. But they're helping a lot of us who don't have anything become something, make a living out of it. And I really appreciate that.
One of the biggest things here that I've seen at Food Shift is the impact that it has on people's actual lives. We try different holistic ways of nourishing people, not just through food, but through community building, through healing and sharing stories. In that, we help empower people in order for them to move forward in their lives.
Everything is working really good for me right now. I want to stay in the culinary field. I actually got an interview tomorrow, and Food Shift helped me with that. And by working with them, they just make you want to come back every day. They want you to want to learn more. I personally get up at 5 in the morning just to be here. I feel successful. I feel like I can go do whatever I want to do. I have learned a lot, and I'm more stronger, more focused.
I would recommend Food Shift to anybody that I see. The whole program really worked well for me.
We are calling on you to help us bring more good food and jobs to people who need it the most.
There's way more Food Shift in the world. No food waste when it comes to Food Shift. This is a very important program right here.
Donate, and it's a worthy cause, and you'll feel good about yourself.
Donate today to help us expand our impact throughout the broader East Bay community.
You can follow Food Shift on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and donate to Food Shift at foodshift.net/donate. Thanks so much for joining us for the 11th annual APHA Food Systems Tour, hosted by the APHA Food and Environment Working Group. To learn more about the Food and Environment Working Group, you can find us on Facebook at APHA Food and Environment, Twitter at Food Environment, or send us an email at apha.fewg@gmail.com. We'll see you next year.